to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Rori Mabogoane, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. It's great to have you in my little corner of YouTube where we speak all things adulting, faith, career development, personal development, lifestyle, the works. Anything and everything that is relevant for us to navigate our young adult lives. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button, that red button, better turn gray. Give this video a massive thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what you enjoyed about today's video and what other videos you'd like to see. Share this with anybody and everybody who you think might need it. And last but not least, hit those notification bells so that you do not miss another video. So without wasting any more time, let us get straight into today's video. So we're back again with another sit down, and today's one, as usual, is very exciting for me. I think as a young professional, this is one thing that I was so intentional about when building the foundation of my career, and I just want to share some tips with you guys on how to be more visible at work. As a young professional, it's very easy to get lost in the shuffle. It's very easy to find yourself in the background, even if you don't want yourself there. It's very easy for you to be overpowered by other people, and these tips that I'll be sharing and unpacking today will help you be more visible, will help you make a lasting impression, and will help you shine within the workplace, especially when you're working with more experienced individuals, when you're working with people who have been in that job, in that company, in that industry for so many more years. You want to stand out as, hey, who's that kid? Hey, like, you know what I'm saying? So without wasting any more time, let us get into how you can be more visible at work as a young professional. The first thing you want to do is speak up in meetings. Now, this is a big one. This is a very important one. It's important for you to share your insights and your thoughts within meetings. What you want to do when speaking up in meetings is firstly jot down your thoughts beforehand. You want to make sure that your thoughts are clear and concise, and when you articulate them confidently. You don't want to just unmute your mic or raise your hand in a boardroom and speak a whole lot of fluff. So make sure you jot down your ideas and make sure that they are structured so that when you open your mouth, something of sense comes out of there. The second thing you'd want to do when speaking up in meetings is starting small. Start with sharing a small idea, a small thought, a small comment before diving into the bigger, meatier things. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew. Like I mentioned earlier, you want to speak with structure, you want to speak with no fluff, right? So if you start with small comments, small thoughts, small ideas, that will help you build the confidence that you need and help you articulate yourself better before engaging in even deeper conversations that require even more insights than what you would need when sharing just one idea, especially if you're at a phase where you're still learning about the topic at hand, when you're still learning about the job. Like I said, as young professionals, we're still very inexperienced, we're still trying to learn, we're still trying to become subject matter experts within our field, and by then, I mean, we're at a phase where our knowledge is limited, and you can rather just be safe and share small ideas here and there, throw a word here and there, throw a comment here and there, instead of just diving into the bigger stuff. Once you've gained the confidence to speak well, share that comment better, articulate your thoughts well, then you can engage in the deeper conversations where the experts are like, hey, A, B, and C, and you can be like, but actually, A, B, and C, you know what I mean? So start small. Don't put that pressure on yourself to dive in and engage at 100% from day one, because you don't want to find yourself biting off more than you can chew, and you don't want to find yourself biting off your tongue instead of speaking sense in a meeting as well. Another thing to consider when speaking up in meetings is asking thoughtful questions. This will show that you are engaged. This will show that you are interested in the topic. And this will show how much you want to learn about the topic as well. For me, I ask, guys, anybody that has been in a meeting with me will tell you that I ask questions. Even if I can't share, insights at that moment in time, maybe because I don't know enough about a topic, but I will ask questions. I will ask questions so that I can understand. And sometimes I'm helping other people who are too scared to speak up, who actually don't understand a specific topic as well. So ask those questions, engage, show that you're interested in the topic, show that you want to gain more insights into that topic. Because if you are quiet and you're just like, nothing from my side, to be honest, it's not a good look. I know we joke about it a lot especially when you're working from home, there's all those memes on social media to say, yeah, you quickly just unmute and say, no, nothing from my side, or you unmute and say, he, and laugh when somebody makes a joke, but actually engage in a meeting, because sometimes the conversations that come up in those meetings will help you with the work that you need to do, will help you with the tasks that you need to complete at a later stage in life. When they're sharing actions or next steps at the end of a meeting, and they're like, yeah, Rory's going to do A, B, and C, but you weren't engaged and you weren't listening and you weren't asking questions, making sure you understand, how are you going to deliver on the next steps that they're asking you to deliver on? Do you understand what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense. So ask those thoughtful questions so that it shows that you're engaged, it shows that you're interested, and it shows that you want to learn. Last thing that I want to highlight when speaking up in meetings is do not interrupt people when they're speaking. Wait for your turn. Raise your hand if it's an online meeting. Raise your hand and wait to say for them to say, Rory, over to you. Do not interrupt people when they're speaking. Even if you feel very passionate about a subject or a topic that they're speaking about, wait for them to finish their thought, then say, hey, can I throw in my thoughts and ideas? Can I throw in my 2 cents? Especially when you are the younger person in the group or in around that table. I'm not saying play small because you are the least experienced within that room. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying do not interrupt people when they're speaking. It just shows common manners. Even with a conversation with a friend, a family member, whatever, you wait for them to finish their thought and then you speak. It just shows manners. It shows that you are actively listening. And by actively listening, you are then able to respond accordingly and not just speak fluff. Like I said at the beginning of this video, you don't want to speak that fluff. So don't interrupt people when they're speaking. Allow them to finish their thought. Even when you're about to ask a question, don't just interrupt when they're speaking, because you'll find that they're actually going to answer your question before you answer it, before you ask it. So if you're going to interrupt them while they're sharing their thought and then you ask a question, then you're going to hear well, Rory, that's actually what I was about to touch on now, to say A, B, and C. And you don't want to find yourself being that person who interrupts people when they're speaking or who asks premature questions. So wait your turn to ask a question, wait your turn to speak. Do not interrupt someone when they are speaking. I see this a lot with more experienced people where they just unmute and then they say, no, but A, B, and C did this, and be classy, be modest, be demure. You understand? Yeah. So raise your hand, wait to be addressed to say, Rory, you can speak. Or if you're in a boardroom, I actually raise my hand in a boardroom. Literally, they know me as that person. I raise my hand. Whoever acknowledges that, okay, Rory, your comment will be taken next, or your thought will be taken next, or your input will be taken next. And then when my turn comes, I then share what I want to share. Or if I was going to ask a question that was then answered by the person who was speaking previously, I can then say, no, don't worry, you can move on to the next person. My question has been answered. The second thing that you want to do when you want to strive to be more visible at work is volunteering for projects. Stepping out of your comfort zone is crucial for visibility at work. Seek out new challenges. By this, I mean volunteering for projects that interest you. Even if they might seem daunting, just raise your hand. Really, you'll learn so much more by raising your hand and throwing yourself in the deep end than reserving yourself and holding yourself back and staying in your corner and not learning anything in the process. It also looks really, really good because it shows that you're a proactive individual who wants to get their hands dirty. So volunteer for those projects, seek out those new challenges that you, even if you have no experience in them, this is how you gain that experience. Nobody just woke up and knew how to plan an event. Nobody just woke up and knew how to run a workshop. Nobody just woke up and knew how to, you know, facilitate a steering committee meeting. You put up your hand and you say, listen, I've never done this before. I might ask stupid questions as I prepare, but hey, it's daunting. But here I am, Rori Mabogoane. I am ready to put my hand up and take on this challenge for myself. In addition to this, take initiative. Don't wait to be assigned tasks. Identify areas of or gaps within the team. Identify areas, of opportunity that can be filled. Identify things that aren't currently being done within the team that can be done, and run with them. A lot of people on social media that I've seen say, hey, I rather, won't share my idea because then the work will fall on me to implement on that idea. Share your idea, run with it. Yes, it'll take an extra 2 hours out of your workday, but run with it. Take initiative, fill that gap, because that gap might make a difference between your guys' team meeting whatever targets you have for the team and not. That filling or that taking of initiative might take your team from one level to the next. That taking initiative might make your team, not just you, but make your team more visible within the organization that you work in. So take that initiative, find the gaps that you need to fill, and run with them. Like I said, yes, it might mean there's more on your plate, but do it anyway. Lay that foundation for yourself. Be known as that person who is proactive, who takes initiative, who is willing rather to take on extra work, who is willing to get their hands dirty. Take that initiative. It looks so good for someone who is new, who is fresh, who is very green, to say, listen, I found this gap. I think we can do A, B, and C. Or rather, I found this gap. I'm not sure how we can fill it, but can I take it on and see how we can best solve this problem, and I can run with it. And then you know that you are owning something. In one of my previous videos, I mentioned that one of my mentors told me, Rory, just get things done. This is an opportunity for you to get things done. This is an opportunity for you to show that, hey, I did this. I found this, or I saw this problem, I found a solution for it, and I delivered, and I delivered well. So do that. Take initiative, especially if you want to gain visibility in your workplace. To wrap up this point, I want to highlight one thing. Go the extra mile. Exceed expectations with whatever project, whatever task, whatever item you are given to do. Do it and do it excellently. Be known as that person who gets stuff done and gets stuff done with order and with excellence. You want to be able to look back at the year and say, listen, I did this, I identified this problem, I solved this problem accordingly, and I did it incredibly. When you do something, make sure that your name has the word, or your name, or the sentence rather that has your name in it, has the word excellence in it as well. Be known as someone who does their job with pride, who does their job with integrity, who does their job with excellence, who strives for exceeding, not just getting their job done, but getting it done exceedingly well. You don't just want to get stuff done for the sake of getting it done. Get it done well and get it done above the expectations of the people who you are reporting to or who you may be working with on the particular project. The third thing that you need to focus on when you want to be more visible at work is networking. Networking is crucial for your career growth. I might sound like a broken record right now, but I cannot stress this enough. This is something that I'll continuously be intentional about as I grow my career, as I grow within the field of expertise that I'm trying to grow in, and as I build relationships within my space of expertise. So networking is extremely important. Connect with your colleagues. As an introvert like myself, I absolutely hate the idea of going to events, engaging with colleagues. Listen, it really takes a lot out of me, but I have to bite the bullet and go for it. I attend the company events that you need to attend. I attend the workshops and the masterclasses. I attend the team building events. As daunting as they are for me, and as exhausting and draining as they allow me to connect with my colleagues on an even deeper level. You actually get to know them outside of the everyday work that they do. You get to know about their families. You get to know about what they like doing. You get to know about the things that they enjoy. You get to know about the books that they're reading. You get to know about, places that they get their knowledge from. You get to know all of those things. So connect with your colleagues. Form genuine relationships. I mentioned this in a previous video as well. Form genuine relationships with your colleagues. They are actually nicer people than you realize. I say that because I was intentional about that with my team when I joined my new job at the beginning of last year. And I even know the names of their kids and their wives and husbands. That's how bad it is. Well, it's not bad, but that's how entrenched I am. When they are sick, I know about that. When their parents are sick, I know about that. When their children are sick, I know about that. I formed those genuine connections and those genuine relationships with my colleagues. Another thing that you want to consider when building your network is mentorship. As I've mentioned before, seek mentors both within your company and outside of your company. Mentors within your company will help you grow and expose you to other people and other opportunities within your company, obviously because they are more experienced. They know when things are happening before you do. They know when jobs are going to be put out before you do. So find that those mentors and those sponsors within your organization, but also outside of your organization. Maybe still within your sphere of expertise and within your industry. Find people who might be able to pick up the phone and say, hey, Rori, I heard of A, B, and C. I heard of this event. I heard of this job. I heard of this. And would you be willing to have a coffee chat with the person who's hiring? And all of that jazz. So have mentors inside and outside of the organization that you work at. As I wrap up this thought about networking, make sure to connect with people within your industry, even if they're outside of your organization. This can be by attending workshops, attending masterclasses, attending industry events, but also engaging with people on LinkedIn. I don't think you guys understand the power of LinkedIn. And if you guys want a completely different video on how to engage with people on LinkedIn and how to set up your LinkedIn for success, do comment down below and I'll be happy to create a video separately on just how to, present yourself on LinkedIn. But do that. Connect with people on LinkedIn. Set up coffee chats. Set up online chats. Just to bounce around ideas, just to find out about people, just to learn, create those relationships, but also exposing yourself. That is what networking is all about. Exposing yourself and putting yourself in a position where people can say, hey, I know about that young girl in whatever organization. Hey, I know about that young girl whose goal is A, B, and C. And I think that this opportunity would be great for them. And if you don't have those networks and those connections, both inside and outside, both online and in person, you will not be able to be exposed to opportunities that will help you with your career growth. The fourth thing that I want to highlight when you want to be more visible at work is showcasing your achievements. Do not let your achievements go unnoticed. Yes, be humble. Don't be loud standing on the rooftop saying you've achieved A, B, and C, but do not let them go unnoticed. When you're speaking to your boss, when you're speaking to your colleagues, allow these things to pop up in conversation, especially when you are perhaps having performance reviews. Be able to write down and document that I did this, I achieved this, I initiated this, I did this, so that your boss can see that, hey, I have an asset right in front of me. Showcasing your accomplishments also helps you shine, not just to your direct line manager, but to the executive that's in your department, to the partner that, might be your boss's boss's boss. It allows them to also trust you with things as well. I mentioned earlier on in the video that the advice that was given to me by one of my mentors is to get things done. By getting things done, you are accomplishing something, you are delivering on something. And let people know. Let people know that, hey, I might not have been at the end tail of this project, but I identified this problem and I brought forth a solution and I was able to, kickstart the team that then followed through on, that followed through on solving that solution. So don't be arrogant about your achievements, but definitely don't let them go unnoticed, because you will be shooting yourself in the foot at the end of the day when you have to say to your boss that, hey, I deserve a rating or an impact tier rating of 1 instead of an impact tier rating of 3 or 4, or I deserve an impact rating that is, exceeding or whatever. You are able to back it up with evidence. You are able to back it up with proof that I did this. I did this. Also, my KPIs were this. And because I took initiative and went the extra mile, I even went above and beyond my KPIs. Does that not look good? I think it looks great. So do not let your accomplishments go unnoticed. Deliver well, like I mentioned earlier, and then make sure that your boss knows about what you're working on. Make sure that your boss knows about what you have delivered. The fifth and final thing that I want to highlight when you want to be more visible within your workplace as a young professional is developing clear communication skills. Clear and concise and effective communication is vital in any workplace. Whether you are a young professional, an experienced professional, whatever it is, clear, effective communication is what will help you be able to make a name for yourself within your organization. The first thing that you want to do when developing strong communication skills is practicing active listening. By this, I mean practicing listening to someone, actually listening to them speak, let them finish speaking, and then ask clarifying questions. Not only does this mean you're engaged, but it also means you're internalizing and processing what the person is saying. That's what active listening is. Not only will active listening make you look engaged or seem engaged, but it also helps your brain store that knowledge, store those thoughts, store those ideas that other people are pouring out within a meeting and whatever. And then it helps you act on them. It helps you ask the right questions. It helps you challenge ideas. It helps you say, hey, I think that maybe we should look at it from this lens instead. Or when you said A, B, and C, what exactly did you mean? Please, can you break it down or rephrase it in a way that I can better understand it? That is what active listening looks like. Another thing to consider when developing strong communication skills is developing strong written skills. So not only do you want to be able to verbalize and articulate yourself well, but also be able to write clear and concise emails and reports, be able to be clear or be able to articulate yourself clearly in a written format as well. Make sure your emails make sense. Make sure your reports make sense. Make sure your end of month summaries make sense. Make sure your after meeting notes make sense. Be able to articulate yourself in a written manner. The last thing you want to consider is being able to storytell. Now, this one doesn't come overnight and it only comes with experience, but effective storytelling will help you be able to bring your thoughts and ideas across in a more concise and structured manner. Whether that means being able to draw up proper PowerPoint presentations and be able to storyboard and say, start wide and go low, or and go into granular detail, or start with the granular detail and go wide. I'm more a fan of the former, where you start with the bigger picture and you then break it down into what you're trying to say and be able to story or tell that story in a way that will grasp the attention of the audience, as well as make sure that your message comes across accordingly. So develop those written skills, develop those storytelling skills, and be able to actively listen to what the other person is saying. In closing, remember that being visible at work is a marathon and not a sprint. It will not happen overnight. What you need to do is intentionally be consistent about what you say, what you do, how you present yourself, as well as what you expose yourself to as well. With that, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share this with anybody and everybody in your circle. Do comment down below what you are going to be intentional about when it comes to being more visible at work. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, and I'd love to hear what you will be focusing on as you build that reputation for yourself and as you build that visibility for yourself within your workplace. With so much love and so much light from me to you, have an incredible rest of the day. Stay safe and God bless. Bye, guys.